Yeah, probably should just nip it in the bud right here, right? I love this thing. I love this thing so gosh darn much that anytime we talk about the Canucks, I want to get the opportunity in there to throw this up in the background. Louis Eriksson, what a fun time for Vancouver Canucks fans. But you know who else was a pretty significant member of the Louis Eriksson ran Vancouver Canucks? Well, it's the guy on my other shoulder over here, because Bo freaking Horvat is a name that is starting to take over the National Hockey League, and I'm starting to feel sad about it. Starting to feel? I don't know. Let's get into the scoop over here, because Bowie William Horvat is in New York, 30-year-old guy, 6 feet, 223, left-handed center, and he's a guy who is signed on till the end of 2031, making $8.5 million a year. That dollar amount is interesting because, firstly, it's $3.1 million a year cheaper than Elias Pettersson's deal. It's also $500,000 more expensive than JT Miller's deal. And you kinda get where I'm heading with this conversation from those stipulations there. Let's dive into it here. Bo Horvat this season has been on a tear. He's got 20 points in 16 games, on pace for 103 over the full 82-game season. Bo Horvat's most productive year in the National Hockey League was 2022-2023, where in a total of 79 games played, he had 70 points, 38 goals, and 32 assists. Excuse me, I needed to do the mental math off the top of my head. So Bo had himself a very good season in that year, but in New York, the years after, he was never able to get back up to 70-something points. He had 68 the next year, which is fine. But the year after, he had 57, and it was like, all right, well, he's a good player. He's a center. He's part of this Islander squad. But man, oh man, has he totally turned it up these past few weeks. Bo Horvat, in the sample he has had so far, 12 goals in 16 games, which is good enough to put him near the top of the NHL in total goals. You head over here, he is tied alongside of Cole Caulfield for second in the league in total tallies, just behind Nathan MacKinnon, who's got 14. Bo and Caulfield are tied for number 2. But if you take a look at Bo Horvat and his game log, it gets even more ridiculous. Because to open up the 2025-2026 campaign, Bo Horvat had, 2 goals? No, excuse me, 0 goals in his opening 3 games of the year. Let's move things over to the left here so it's a little easier. 0 goals in his first 3 games, which means if you go from game number 4 all the way to the end, Bo Horvat has legitimately scored 12 goals in his last 13 hockey games. That's ridiculous. And you look at the kinds of goals that Bo Horvat is scoring. I mean, this was from earlier in the afternoon yesterday. Bo Horvat had 11 goals in 15 games. We all know he's up to 12 now, so he scored another one in this game. Just take a look at the kinds of goals this guy is finding. He's getting the puck in open areas, and he's just beating goaltenders from distance, beating his old guy, Jacob Mark Markstrom, and making it look as simple as he's ever done it. Bo is such a versatile sniper. It is ridiculous. I think he's gotten this reputation, and a lot of Canucks fans would kind of agree with this here too. Bo Horvat kind of got that reputation in Vancouver for being this like two-way, responsible, top PK guy who could play a big leadership role. And while a lot of those things are true, he is a leader. He was the captain of Vancouver. He was the next in-soul leader material person after Henrik Sedin. He got mentored by the Sedins, and he took those lessons to heart very well. while Bo Horvat does fit all of the good Canadian kid checkboxes that you have for NHL captains, I think it's fair to say that he was never really primarily a defensively responsible Patrice Bergeron-like center. He was more so of a north-south sniper when he was at his absolute peak. He could win faceoffs in the defensive zone, and he could score goals on the rush like crazy, either dangling by guys or just finding an open spot and sniping it through. That was Bo Horvat's game when it was at his best. It was the game that he had in his last season with Vancouver, where he was way over a point per game, and he was at one point on pace for 50 goals on this season. I mean, let's go over to 2022-2023. Bo Horvat was so incredible as a goal scorer in this season. I mean, just look at all the ones and the twos and 6 goals in 3 games. You got 8 goals in 5 games. This guy was on a heater for most of the year. And it's why Vancouver ultimately decided to trade him away and keep JT. That doesn't make any sense, right? Well, it makes a little bit more sense when you remember that JT Miller was a 100-point caliber center at this time, and that he ended up getting to that mark a little bit afterwards. I mean, JT was consistently over a point per game. Bo Horvat only really got to that spot when his contract was expiring, and that's when Vancouver made the choice to trade away Bo. It was a decision that I think a lot of Canucks fans were on board with, even though they knew that Bo was younger than JT, that Bo probably has a little bit more history in Vancouver than JT ever would. But ideally, if JT would become a Vancouver Canuck for life and he'd consistently get 80, 90, 100 points, he'd have his number in the rafters. That's the idea, right? But hindsight is 2020, because nowadays we're taking a look at Bo Horvat doing all these crazy things in New York and saying, wow, this guy's more valuable than Elias Pettersson and JT Miller. He was the right guy that Vancouver should have kept in hindsight with everything else that happened. And in fact, you can say that if Bo Horvat was still in Vancouver versus JT, who knows if Elias Pettersson loses his swag like he had in this timeline? Who knows if Vancouver can still ice together a team that is competitive and potential contention fodder? I mean, yeah, JT worked so well in the Vancouver Canucks organization. He was the number 1 point guy 2 seasons ago. You look at that 23-24 year, at the beginning of the season, Petey Miller and Hughes were number 1, 2, 3, tied for first in the NHL in points. Would Bo Horvat have been in that race instead if he was in Vancouver versus JT? I don't know. But thinking about how things went afterwards, how Bo is doing well, how JT's struggling, how Petey is not getting the production that we need out of him, it's hard to take a look at Bo in New York and say that, man, Vancouver made the right decision to trade him away, right? Let's go out there and read some other tweets that I thought were interesting. This is what was posted about by Stefan Rosner. Barzal spoke out about Bo Horvat. He might be the best shooter in the world right now. And that's not just because he's getting lucky. His shot is truly world class. And I'll absolutely agree with that. Bo Horvat and his shooting capability is unmatched. It was something that Vancouver fans hadn't really seen in a long time. And it's not like they expected it either, because Bo was advertised as this Ryan O'Reilly-like two-way center with face-off winning capabilities. So when he just started potting goals in from everywhere, it was like, oh, he's got a really good wrist shot. And then inevitably, he got traded. We also had ourselves this post made by Mimarzadeh. He went out there and quote tweeted the Stefan Rosner post. It's the old Wolverine meme with Bo Horvat in a Canucks jersey with that C on him. Man, that is a throwback, and that hurts so bad. Was it really worth it to make this video? I don't know. Now I'm sad. What even is the angle here? Bo Horvat is doing amazing with the New York Islanders. What could have been for the Vancouver Canucks? I don't know. We'll try to title and what's the word? Thumbnail, that's what it is, this video appropriately, but I wanted to have a conversation about how well this guy's doing in the NHL, because I think this is the best he's been since that last season he had in Vancouver. Please trade him back. I'd like that a lot. Or send him over to Montreal. That'd be cool too. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about Bo Horvat and his run with the New York Islanders. How do you feel about his career going forward? And do you think Vancouver could be regretting this trade at this point? I know Filip Hronek is good. He's a solid player. He adds value to the back end. But Bo Horvat, man. Thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Rolls 99. And bye.